Hello, welcome to my video, New Careers for Baby Boomers. My name is Linda Gibson and I'm a baby boomer and embarking on a new career. Over the years, I've had several new professional careers, usually brought about by circumstances in my life at any one time. You may have just retired. You may have been forced to retire because of recent events. You may have retired some time ago and decided that actually you want to still do something. You may want to do voluntary work, or you actually may want to earn money with your career. It doesn't matter what the reasons are. The fact is you're here today watching this because you're interested in creating a new career for yourself as a mature person. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about who I am and where I've been. When I first left school, I actually trained as a nurse and then went on and trained as a midwife. So that was my first career, nursing and midwifery, and I worked in that career for 20 years and thoroughly enjoyed it. However, when my children were born and little, I decided that the hours were difficult and I needed to find a new career that fitted in better with my family. So I then actually went and trained as a teacher, and I was fortunate enough to work in a further education college, and I was able to teach vocational subjects, so using the skills I already had plus my extra skills of teaching. After I'd worked as a teacher for quite a long time, I was in the beauty salon one day and the therapist, who I'd known a long time, said to me, "Have you ever thought about collagen?" Now, in those days, 20 odd years ago, collagen was a new aesthetic product, something that was injected into the face for lines and wrinkles and rejuvenization. And I remember saying to her, I remember the conversation actually saying to her, "Do you mean having it or giving it?" And at that point, I began to think, gosh, is this a beginning of a new career? Is this something I'd be interested in? So I did my usual research, went away, Googled, found out all about it, and realised that because of my professional qualifications in nursing, that I could actually train to be an aesthetician. Bells are ringing here. Whoa, a new career. Fancying this. So I had long holidays at that time as a college lecturer. So I used the whole of my holidays one year, and I actually, at my own cost, went away to train in aesthetic medicine. So I learned how to inject fillers, I learned how to inject Botox, I learned how to give dental blocks so that you could do it painlessly. I learned how to do skin peels, and week after week and month after month, I used all my spare time to gain a raft of qualifications in aesthetic medicine. Thinking about it retrospectively, was it the right thing to do at that stage in my life? Well, I work on the hypothesis that life is a journey. And so I forged ahead and I built my new career, and I established, after a lot of hard work, A lot of setbacks, a lot of encouragement, a lot of people being a bit angry, a little bit jealous, all of those things. But I was on my journey of life, forged ahead, and actually built a very successful aesthetic clinic, employing quite a few staff and working with lots of other healthcare professionals. And I have to say, it all worked brilliantly well. I've been doing that for quite a few years, and unfortunately my father died and left me quite a nice sum of money. And so I decided, as I'd always liked the sun, when the sun was out, I was out. I loved it. And I'd always said I should have been born in a nice hot country, because that's where I feel really comfortable. So with my dad's inheritance, I actually went on holiday, first of all to the Canary Islands and then to the Spanish mainland. At that stage, just for a holiday. Never did I think, when I went on a 10-day holiday to the Spanish mainland, that I would come back from that holiday having bought, or at least put the deposit down on, an apartment. So I bought a lovely apartment in a coastal area of Spain that was quite a holiday resort, but in so much as a lot of people owned second homes there. So I now was the proud owner of a second home in Spain. Absolutely loved it. And each time I came over, it got harder and harder to go back to the UK. And I can remember sitting in my office in the UK one day, lovely clinic. The sun was nowhere to be seen and hadn't been for weeks. The sky was grey, and I can remember looking out of my office window and thinking, what the hell am I doing here? So, to give you the abridged version, otherwise we'll be here all day and it gets boring, I decided to sell my lovely, beautiful house in England and move to Spain. It was a protracted affair because legislation is different here, the legalities are different. So I was now on a different journey in life, exploring how and when I could open a new life in Spain. That's for another video, but that's what I did. And after moving here and having a few weeks lying around the pool and eating loads, drinking loads, and having an extended holiday, I suddenly realised, actually, this is not going to fulfill me for the next however many years, 30 years I've got. So I started again to do my homework on a slightly different journey and looked at how I could open an aesthetic business here in Spain. So I opened my aesthetic business and worked with some lovely, lovely therapists, and it was a lovely time in my life, which I will always think about with very fond memories. However, for health reasons, that came to a very abrupt halt. A shock to the system, and in fact, for health reasons, I didn't actually work for over a year. But eventually crawled my way back and looked at where was I going to go from there. By this time, my daughter had been living in Spain for quite a long time. I've been here 16 years now. And my daughter at that time was actually a photographer, and she did a lot of wedding photography because this area of Costa Blanca is an area for destination weddings. So I used to go with her and help out and carry things and arrange the bride's train and generally keep busy. And at this stage, I decided to think, there's more to life for me than this. And I was at a wedding with her one day, watching a ceremony, a bride and groom having their wedding ceremony. And I can remember saying to my daughter at the time, that's a job I could do. I'd love to be a wedding celebrant. And my daughter said, well, go for it then, do it. So, as always my style, I wanted to know all about what was involved. What training did I need? What qualifications did I need? How would I go about it? But I did. I actually took myself off and I actually trained to become a wedding celebrant. And I can honestly say it's the most wonderful, wonderful job to do. I absolutely love it. I could spend all day talking about being a wedding celebrant, but that's not why I'm here. I'm here because I'm now in a slightly different situation in that it's 2020 and the world has been threatened in its very existence by the coronavirus. We don't know how long it will be around, when it will go away, and realistically, we don't know when destination weddings can ever truly get up and running again. Which brings me to my next career. Because I decided at this stage that perhaps I needed to look at training for a different career. Not necessarily to replace anything that I'm currently doing, but to run concurrently alongside it. We were stuck in lockdown. We couldn't go out. Lockdown is very strict here in Spain, and so I thought, well, I may as well use the time to learn some new skills. So I actually trained online because of social distancing to teach English as a foreign language. So I spent part of my lockdown time doing my training and being accepted by an online company for teaching English as a foreign language. And as part of that journey, because of having to apply for everything online, one of the other things I've learned, although I get not wonderfully well, but the other things I've learned is how to make a short video, great, and how to actually upload that to YouTube. And this is where I am today. So that's a run through some of the professional careers that I've had. And the purpose of this video was simply to introduce to baby boomers the possibility of having a new career at a later stage in your lives. And while it's not easy to do, if I can do it, you can do it. So this is to start to sow the seeds of your new career.